Let me see. Where is the fucking profile? Oh, nice. This guy has a nice little EV garage. Fucking weird. Where the poop did I put the file? One second.
Drive. You can stream it directly from the drive.
Can you send me the link for the drive, please? I don't know where
Sure,
it
hang
is.
on, let me,
Oh, I found it.
you got it?
There we go.
Alright.
Study recordings, no game. Okay, good. Full screen deaths. Oh, it's so blurry.
Yeah.
It usually fixes itself after a couple of
Yeah.
seconds playing on the drive. There we go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Can everybody see it?
Yeah.
Yep. Some Zoom.
So what's like the effective rate back on poker stars these days? I hear like different percentages.
I think it's about 5%.
Rakeback,
Yeah.
you're talking?
Oh,
Uh,
rake back.
chess dependent. You get a chess that gives you between some number, maybe 5% and 25%, depending on your level, I don't know. That's just strictly how much volume you put in, it'll go up. And then you get your extra rakeback challenge of 10 to 40%.
I'm confused. That's what I'm saying. Like I never get like a straight answer.
No, because it's like two separate things. So like one is just purely volume based,
Hold on.
depending on how much volume you put in.
That's a big bet. That's a big bet. That's the
Jack 8-7, I think we can have some big bets on Jack 8-7.
3/4.
I think so. Yeah. If it was like Jack 8 brick, we definitely want to have some big bets. Three
And
fourths
I think
over
that's a
bets.
check. You can check
Queens
on that turn,
connected,
I
I'm not
think
sure.
too.
This one?
Yeah. I think when the ace hits after he calls the big bet, you can check at that turn sometimes.
I like the bet because there's so many draws. I don't think I'm ever checking this in.
I think I like the bet as well, just for some value. It's not like it hits him that much. You'll have some ace 8. I don't know if ace 7 can call a big bet on the flop. It just is going to realize really poorly. Right?
Neither of them are too much calling pre-flop either, actually, to a raise.
Yeah, that's true too.
Kings
Kings and queens. Damn,
and
starting
queens.
off with some good action.
Nice. I don't remember the second half of this video because I took an edible and I started getting really high.
Okay.
Just FYI.
So when we ask for your thought process and you have no clue, we'll know. All right.
Yeah.
No worries.
There was
Think
some
it's a little
interesting stuff
blurred
starting
there.
off.
Did we just defend ace 7 off to what size?
I believe it was, let's see here.
I actually don't want to
Mm,
defend this to any size. Um,
A7 off?
yeah, multi-way ace 7 off is going to be
Yeah.
Multi-way,
really,
yeah, that's
really poor.
pretty light.
Yeah, I would fold that to anything.
You're gonna be dominated a lot.
That's exactly the issue. I think if it's button open, small blind call, and we're in the big, our cutoff is usually around ace 9 for defending.
It's gotten quite blurry for me. Anyone
Same
else?
here. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hang on. I think this is no, yeah, I think it's your computer because the dock is also blurry.
Oh, once again,
Not just
let
the
me see.
entire, not just the YouTube or video.
Well, let me check my stream settings. Oh yeah, it's what the heck? Oh, so this has to be nitro. What the? Well, let me try turning it off and then turning it
Okay. Watch stream.
Okay, is
Yeah,
that
now we're
better?
back to normal. Ooh.
Can you
Okay.
start over this queen's hand so I can see
Yeah,
this?
let's rewind a
Sure.
bit. So we 4-bet.
So we raise.
I
He.
like the size.
So do I. I know Wizard likes those very small 4-bets.
Oh, sorry. 1 second. What's calling me?
Yeah, the A7's a fold even if it's heads up.
Even heads up, that would be a fold, yeah.
For 1 BB, I don't know. I don't think that's a fold, is it?
This
mean,
rig
not
structure,
multi-way.
100%.
I guess, yeah, I forgot 10 of them.
Yeah. I think even at 50, it's going to be a fold, though. It's
Depends on
tough.
who's raising. That was small blind.
Even if it's 1 BB,
Oh, wait, you're
he's got a
talking
strong range.
if the small blind raises, yeah, we defend. But when hijack
Well, yeah,
opens, right.
yeah,
Against hijack, it's a fold, yeah.
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 Sorry, I completely missed the action on the queen's hand again. He jams into us. Okay, we see
Yeah.
bet small. Seems
Yeah.
good. And he donk jams turn. Yeah, just call it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Oh, this.
donating.
Oh, I remember this hand. This is so sick.
Oh no, we're gonna lose this, aren't we?
Yeah, it's so sick.
Oh.
Oh, that's a shame. Alright.
That's
With
alright.
the club, too.
It was a good play, I think.
Yeah, lick your line.
Mhm.
Yeah, no way we can fold that with the gut shot. Okay, to that size, we can't fold this.
Yeah, I think I call it off.
Yeah, I'm expecting to see ace jack here a ton.
Yeah, never raising.
Yeah, no, can't raise this.
I was thinking about folding. I believe.
Yeah, it's too good of a price.
Yeah, I want to fold, but for that size, I couldn't click the fold button.
I think
And
you can
ace
fold
jack?
sometimes.
No, king 10, going
King
for the very
10.
thin value.
Jeez.
There we go. Yes.
And now he can play very exploitive and make a lot of money.
That makes sense. If he's value betting worse, though, I think folding, well, obviously if he's value betting worse, folding there becomes really, really bad. Eight, 7, 5. Okay. We're versus a slightly shorter stack. I want to see either a big bet or a check.
I think I
Yeah.
checked it. I don't remember. I went for 50.
I like the 50 size, maybe a little bigger.
Yeah, you see, this is
I like a
confusing for
bigger
me.
size here.
You have both a 55 and a 77, and I just have a 70 right smack in the middle. But, yeah, some bigger size seems good.
I don't think I'm ever checking that hand, personally. Or that flop.
The kings.
Well, we're
Yeah.
definitely building a checking range on the flop. If kings go in there, I think it's going to depend a lot on how aggressively out of position is going to be probing turn.
Yep.
You could probably check with more with a club, maybe.
It's going to be a high frequency bet anyway, in these positions particularly.
Yeah, I'm just shipping it on the river.
We did what? We did
Yeah, I think I did
55,
too.
55.
Oh, that was a misclick on the right.
Yeah,
You
we're
could
just
probably
ripping that on
even-
river.
You
Yeah.
could probably even jam the turn, overbet jam the turn.
What was the SPR on the turn?
It was pretty relatively big, I think.
Turn us. Yeah, I don't think we can overbet jam the turn here. There is a lot of overbet jamming on like the more connected, dry, particularly double flush draw boards when we're out of position in these 3-bet pot spots. It's also usually a lower SPR because we 3-bet bigger. But
I like dragging it over 3 streets. I think you can get more value.
yeah, In this spot, 100% agree. I like the line.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I also like the accidental
Geometric
limp
sizing or
raise.
oh the
That too. Yeah.
yeah, because I was gonna say it works out perfectly. Half pot, half pot, half pot. Um, is this a stylistic choice versus a table that we expect to over ISO, or
Oh, what? I thought you limp raised the ace queen.
I think this is when I started getting high.
okay? Are we normally building out a limping range because we think this
No,
table will
no,
ISO us
it
really
was some,
hard, or
no,
is
it was
this
just a
just
misclick.
okay?
Misclick.
Misclick. All right.
Yeah,
But if you are gonna like, why not limp raise though? Isn't
yeah,
that
I
the
should have limp raised there. That would have
like
been
the whole
sick.
point of trapping his hand?
I don't want to fold flop.
I should have called there.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
I
have
would have liked to call. Yeah.
gut shot to the
Oh,
nuts, nut high card hand, gonna be beating a ton of his draws. On the left, I just want to fold though.
Fold.
No, oh, you almost clicked that limp. Thank God you timed out. Oof.
Fold.
Yes, fold.
Fold.
On monotone flops, our defending ranges are usually really club oriented, or sorry, flush draw oriented.
Okay.
So
Yeah, it's blurry again.
Yeah.
Was blurry again?
Yeah.
it just
That's
fixed
good.
itself.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I think it's like going to sleep or something like theater.
Maybe.
So are you beating these games? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm beating it very littly. I think my win rate is on Zoom it's really low. I think it's like 3 or 4 big blinds per 100.
That's not
That's pretty good
low.
though.
Yeah, that's definitely
Oh, is it?
substantial.
That's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
The rake
Particularly
is
with this rake.
massive
Yeah.
at 10 and 0. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'll find that is there 25 zoom or does it go to like
Stars goes
50 or
10,
something?
16, 25, 50.
Oh, does
They
it?
have really good
Yeah.
jumps there.
I think if you have a positive win rate here, the chances are you'll have a positive win rate at the next one too.
You're going to crush 16.
Yeah, although 16 I don't think has a significant rake difference. I think you're paying maybe an extra one big blind per 100 less than rake max.
Yeah,
It's
I
not a
think you'll
significant
find
drop off.
as you go up in stakes that it's not that big of a difference in skill levels and whatnot. You just have to get it's more. I think it's more like a
Okay.
mental thing.
Okay,
I
so
see.
the ace jack hand was interesting. So we check flop.
You want to see that one? Here it is.
Here, yeah, we check flop. We could have c-betted, but we check flop. He probes
Okay.
3/4-ish on the turn. We call. Could have raised.
Yeah, I was thinking about raising there, but what sizing would be good, you think?
Actually,
what size would you go with your nut flush?
Not flush. Maybe go. Let's think about this. We have a nut flush. We also have a gutter too. Um, what is he betting here with?
yeah, that's the thing. How much of a raising range do we actually want to have versus
On this board?
decently big probe after the flush comes in? Because we are going to be c-betting a decent amount of our flush draws, and we are at a flush disadvantage here.
I mean, you could raise, but I think probably just
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah, actually, if you overbets, I don't think we play a raising range at all versus 3/4. We might have one, but it's probably not very wide.
And what do you think of a bluff raise on the river?
Bluff raise on the river. I think
I
it's all
don't
right.
know.
I don't
I
like
think,
having
like,
a jack.
what's the frequency, Thomas? Like, how many times,
What's the river card, by the way? I can't even see it.
Three
Three of
hearts.
hearts.
Blurry.
Yeah,
Just the brick, eh?
yeah.
Okay, and how much did he bet?
3/4?
3/4, yeah.
3/4, yeah.
Probably just I don't know. I would let it go, but I'm sure at some frequency or whatever.
I
you
don't
can
think it
raise.
will be. We don't have that many value raises, and we don't like having the jack.
Yeah, I like just folding there.
Yeah, Jack's not
Ace
so
of
good.
spades.
Yeah, like we could potentially raise it. I don't think it's a horrible candidate, but we can get so out of line there so easily if we're not
Mm-hmm.
careful.
I think against the right opponent, it's playable.
That's where a lot of players lose a lot of money
The
too.
raise
Is
line is playable. Yeah, for sure.
these big bluffs that they think is going to work.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've done a few of those recently, don't worry.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so
okay to play passive.
yeah, sorry, it's a
So
little blurry
it's
again.
yeah, it's pretty blurry.
We defend queen jack off.
Is it better now or worse?
It's worse.
Feed your hamster or something. Get this shit rolling. Let's go.
God damn it! This operating computer did nothing.
You want me to hang on.
Is
If
it
it's on the
better?
drive, oh, now it's better. Yeah, never mind. All right.
Wait, 1 second. Maybe it's because my.
Oh, it's good right now.
It's good.
Yeah, right now it's
Yeah.
good. So queen jack
For
off, we
now.
defend and fold to a big c bet on that flop. Yeah, very reasonable. That is a huge 3-bet. Wow.
You probably had aces.
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
People c bet bigger with a or 3-bet
fish
bigger with
do that.
aces.
Yeah,
I
they do
find
it.
it's the
That happens a lot
opposite.
at these stakes.
Instead of going for like hand strength, in my experience, they go for like um I don't want to use the word protection, but I guess protection. So when they go huge, they have like jacks or queens or maybe
Yeah,
kings. And when they go small, it's
sometimes
just aces.
sometimes they do it with other hands too. Sometimes they do it with like 10-3 suited. It's not always a good hand.
Oh wow, so it's like super polar.
Yeah, it is.
I see. Like the 3-bet, like the fold.
So the ace five is a call, I believe, but
Is it?
you can probably just fold it at these stakes.
Yeah, and that is well, it's definitely on the bigger side, but it's in the realm of reasonable in terms of a 4-bet size from him out of position. I think
The
calling
thing with
folding
these
both is
stakes,
fine.
I think people are going to be very strong with any 4-bet period. I don't think they're going to be bluffing
Yeah.
ever.
There's very little.
That's the
bluffing.
difference. That's the difference between micro stakes and mid stakes. And
I definitely don't mind the fold. Yeah, I agree. Queen 9 deuce. Think we definitely want to have a big size. Could probably also have a small size. Seems reasonable.
yeah, I mean, you could do a small size and then an overbet on a lot of turn cards.
I mean, I would play an overbet size on this flop. A lot of the queen 9, queen 10, jack 10, jack 9, jack 8, that type of stuff, it wants to have a really big bet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think there is merit to splitting and having a small size too, though.
Lately I've been using a lot of big bets on the flop. They seem to work really good.
Yeah, it's definitely something to implement. King 6, we check, check, fold, sure. Yeah.
I remember when I first started beating 10-0, I stayed there for a couple months and I just grinded like $100, $150 a week. It was
Damn.
stupid, but I was just so happy to be beating it.
I like the check. We are gonna check. I want to check.
The aces, yeah, I think
Yeah.
checking.
Come
Pretty
on,
good.
and don't time out with the eights. No! No!
Got timed out.
Yeah, I want to check this.
Oh, sorry, 1 second. Let me get the door.
No worries. I mean, out of position, we don't want to have a ton of c-bets to begin with.
Oh,
And
really?
You could bet a third here, but I think that's too much.
I think betting a third is fine. I'd rather just check it though.
Is it a third or a check?
Yeah.
Um, it's 0960.
So the
No,
ace
three
five.
bet it. No, three.
Yeah.
Ah.
You
Oh.
gotta 3-bet that stuff. Is he getting the door? Is that what he said?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Definitely three betting ace five suited though. Fantastic
Yeah, even at
left
these
candidate.
stakes. I remember when I played 10 and L, and I was so scared to 3-bet hands like that because I had this thought that like fish were just always gonna call me and just never fold if they make a pair and all this and that. But I think it's not as
Better.
scary.
It's even better at 10 and 0. People play worse.
Yeah, they fold a lot too.
You do have a fair amount of nitwigs in the
Especially-
pool.
They fold a lot on the flop as well.
On the flop, pre-flop, I think four betting ace five suited pre is definitely also a viable option.
I think his 3-bet size on the left here was too small.
What was it? It was, oh, is this 8 maybe? 7.5?
Went
It was
2 to 8.
2 to 8?
Yeah.
He
And
is a
the
bit
guy's a fish.
shorter, but yeah. Probably a bit too small. I think I just range bet 10% because I don't know what to do on these monotone boards, but sure, check is fine.
Yeah, I do the 25% size, but I don't know if it's correct.
Okay, this 5-6 I think is a little spicy versus big bet against early position.
What happened on that one?
Hang on, can we go
Spicy.
back a bit?
I was like, huh.
I think it's a bit spicy because he goes for a big c-bet in early
Yeah.
position, and we're check raising this. This is spicy.
Yeah. What are you
I
trying
don't
to?
really
What are
really
you
like
drawing
it.
to, man? I don't know.
I mean, we do have a
I looked at his
backdoor
stats.
straight flush draw.
I was like, this
There's
guy's raising a lot. He's raising 26%. I don't think he has anything.
Yeah, but what do you do when he calls?
barrel
guess
on
we
good
just-
turns, give up on
you're
bad
good.
ones.
Probably gonna lose a lot of money.
It's
Yeah,
6%'s not like
We should talk
crazy,
about
crazy.
that. We should talk about that ace five suited hand real quick.
wait,
This
would
one?
Did you hear any of that?
oh yeah, you folded ace five suited pre-flop at some point instead of three betting it.
Yeah, so I think like at these
Yeah, maybe
stakes,
there. That seems like a good spot. Yeah,
when you
What was
when
it?
you
bit after, around there. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, here we go.
right there.
Oh, okay.
So I used to think like I don't like 3-betting these hands because what if he calls and he's not gonna fold the flop or whatever's might be going through your head. I think you're gonna find that
Did you get soup?
you'll find that you'll make a lot of money on even with hands like
What did you
that.
get? Spicy chicken. The soup? Yeah. Oh, sorry, my brother was talking to me. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying like I think you'll find that even with
Yeah.
weaker hands like that, you're gonna make a lot of money at these stakes because people are gonna fold to your 3-bets a lot, and even when they
Okay.
call and you bet the flop, I think you're gonna get a lot of folds. So I think just widening your 3-bet range, I think is gonna be good. Maybe
Okay,
it's
okay.
not, but I think
I would rather 3-bet that hand than like ace 9.
Oh, I wouldn't three bet ace nine suited in that position. I would fold it. I would three bet ace five.
yeah, I don't think ace nine's a 3-bet, but just like 3-betting a lot, I think is gonna be good, and betting flops, people are gonna be folding a lot. Do you know what your three bet percentage is?
Let me check. Oh no, I don't even have Golden Manager right now. I
It's
gotta
yours.
reinstall it.
That's all right.
I think it's around 3-bet is around 8%. I remember.
A little
Yeah,
bit on
that's
the
pretty
low
good.
side.
Yeah, you want like 10.
Okay.
10's optimal, I think.
9, 10, 11. 11 is a little bit wide, but yeah.
Yeah, I play 200 NL, and my three bet percentage is like 9.5. So, I
Nine
mean,
and a half is reasonable, yeah.
anything over 8 is, fine. I think.
Yeah, so the 5-6 is spicy.
Yeah, so
So
I
on
don't
this
even
one,
like the call pre-flop, honestly.
It's a
yeah,
little wide for sure.
Yeah,
But
it is definitely wide.
I think if you're gonna call hands in the small blind, to just do it with pocket pairs, because
if people
and
aren't going to
I wouldn't
exploit you
even.
for having no board coverage on high boards, it's probably fine. If they will, you're going to want to throw in some, king 10 suited, king jack suited, ace 10 suited, suited broadways.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't believe in a small blind flatting range at all, but I'm sure you can have one.
In versus early position opens, a small blind flatting range exists a little bit.
but it's super complicated. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's like a lot of hands.
it's not that complicated to play pre-flop, but I've done a little bit of small amount of work on the post-flop lines that result in it, and those are some weird lines.
your four bet's a little too big here.
Yeah,
6.5 to 24 is mostly not going to be great. Maybe something like 18 is better.
2.5x is what I do.
Well,
Two and
out
a
of
half. Okay.
position, something in the realm of 3x is fine. I think 20 would have been fine too.
Or no, yeah, sorry, I was thinking. I do like 2.7, 2.8.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. I mean, it depends on positions anyway, and
Depends. Yeah,
players and everything. You just want to do something in the realm of reasonable. It doesn't really matter what.
2.5 to 3 is good.
Anything like in that realm is reasonable, yeah. So this was check down to the river, and he pods the river.
Pretty easy call.
Yeah, we just have to call this. I
Yeah,
don't see any other way around
he
it.
could be. Yeah, he could be bluffing.
This is
Definitely.
also a very easy spot to overbluff as out of position.
Yeah, because
He's
that card's good for you. I mean, the flush is good for him, but
he's gonna have to check down a decent bit of air here, and I don't know if he's gonna do that. So definitely could be overbluffed, or he could just have ace
yeah.
deuce. Yeah, that too.
I mean, you lose sometimes too. It's okay. I would call.
Yeah,
Okay.
think it's a clear call. Yeah. I mean, we only need to be right versus pot. What? 1 out of every 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, the pot odds is interesting because it's something I need to start thinking about more often, because I would probably lean more in the direction of calling more.
Oh, you station a little bit.
I fold a lot
Oh, you fold a lot. Yeah, so do
on the
I.
river. On the
Working on
river.
that.
Yeah. And then also bluffing too, because your bluffs don't have to work that often, and I need to bluff more.
Oh, I hate the king jack off, but yeah, we can't fold for that size.
What did he three bet?
We opened button min 3-bet, big blind
You,
overcalled.
you can 4-bet there, I think, actually. There's a frequency.
King
Yeah,
jack
I don't
off
know.
seems wide to 4-bet. Well, versus a normal
Yeah.
size, it definitely does. Versus this size, I have no clue.
Well, look at the effective stack depths, though, right? Like King
Yeah,
Jack
Yeah,
is going to be
yeah.
much
Actually, never
stronger than
mind.
it looks.
My,
that is
yeah.
true.
Just folding to the river bet, like pure. I mean the turn bet.
Wait, hang on. How much
Yeah.
was bet on the turn?
It was small, but I probably even.
We have a gut shot.
Yeah, it's close.
4.8. Those seem close.
Oh, the
It's
blur is coming back.
blurry. Yep.
It's still
Again.
visible though, for the moment.
Is this better?
No.
It's like
No.
a jack on the river.
Oh my god. Okay, I was gonna say.
No, it's not a
Jack.
jack on the river. It was queen,
I
9,
know.
jack, runner, 7.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh,
Looks like
okay.
It did look like a jack on the river though for a second.
Yeah, runner, 7. Hang on, it was Bun that bet last route? Okay. I'm not donking this river, but if you bet small, I really want to jam this. Okay.
That was interesting.
Speaking of overbluffing rivers, could have totally jammed that. No, we're not opening Jack 10 off. No, don't do it.
I got
Hold it.
confused with short deck because it doesn't open.
Oh, yeah, that's true. In short deck, you can probably just open rip that.
You actually can at 50 big.
Yeah, that would be profitable. What a ridiculous game. Alright. Could open it, could fold it. It's gonna be a mixed frequency anyway. Likely weaker players in the blinds, so I like the open.
Same.
This kind
I'm
of
wondering.
sucks. He's short,
Um,
so this is gonna play pretty badly, but that's tiny, so I just want to peel it anyway.
Oh, there you go. I'm just like never folding ever in a million years. I would
Oh
call that.
boy, okay, wait, hang on. Are we ever folding that flop?
I'm not
You
personally.
have so much equity.
We have
Yeah,
so much
I'm never-
equity, but if he's shoving a bunch of nut flush draws, this gets really dicey for us.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
stronger
actually
He
flush
not
does all
draws.
sorts of stuff.
I'm really not so sure
Even-
about this call.
I'm
to be
not
honest.
sure
I think
either.
you.
Really?
I think you have more. You have equal equity against overpairs right now.
If he has
You're
an
about
overpair, we're
50-50.
doing fine. It's if he's shoving bigger flush draws that this gets really, really dicey.
I find that players are like never like being that out aggro with their flush draws.
I have
these
no
days.
clue.
Yeah, but
I
so
honestly don't know.
let's say he has ace 10 of spades. Now
Okay.
your 7 and your 8 are both live outs to making a pair against that too, and then you also have the double gut shot.
Pair that gives him a straight draw and still overcards to it. And we only have the 6, really. The 10 could be dominated by
So,
the king,
like,
queen. Hang on.
If he had 100 big blinds, I think maybe I don't know. I'm a station I'd probably call, but I think if he had 100 big blinds, I think he could fold.
I don't
but
know, it
with
just
him
feels
only
close to
having
me.
56.
Here, 1 second. I'm just going to pull up Flopzilla here. If we give ourselves 7, 8 of spades particularly. Hang on. No, I just want 7, 8. Where's my 7, 8? Can I... How do I do spades in Flopzilla again?
There's a suit option somewhere. I can't remember.
You can just type in S.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
works.
you could do that too.
Okay, it's 7 of spades versus ace 10 of spades, let's say. Ace of spades, 10 of spades on a board of
Nine. Or, I mean,
Jack 9, 5.
well,
Yeah,
it's Jack
okay.
9-5.
Versus on Jack 9, 5 here, if we say we're always versus ace 10 of spades, then we have 35%.
Okay.
So
what
what if it's pocket queens or pocket aces?
Well, that's going to be different. If he has aces, or let's say queens, sure, why not? If you give him queens, we're going to have 52%, right? We're a slight favorite.
Yeah.
So
we're
if
ahead
you
of-
assign him, say, a range of maybe... I don't think he's
What
going to
about-
open jam jack. So let's say aces, kings, queens,
and
ace
jacks.
jack.
Ace jack.
Yeah, aces, kings, queens, and ace jack. And then
What about
maybe
pocket
give
jack?
him... I don't think
Pocket
he
jacks,
open
pocket
jams
nines.
pocket jacks. Or pocket nines. I wouldn't expect that. And then maybe give
Well,
him
he
an
three
assortment
bet,
of
didn't he?
some flush draw combos. Yeah, but he's not gonna
Yeah.
jam those. He's gonna go, I have a set, I have a strong hand, don't want to scare him
All
off,
right.
blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
All right.
He's not gonna, or I don't think he's gonna rip that anyway. And
Yeah, he
then
could, but it
maybe
doesn't
give
matter.
him what? Ace 10 of spades,
Yeah, ace, queen of spades, ace, king of spades.
ace queen of spades, ace king of spades. Maybe some queen 10 of spades,
Yeah.
king 10 of spades maybe.
He could have other hands too. He could have like queen 10 of clubs. There's a lot of hands he could have too, because these fish, you never know what they're doing.
That's potential. Maybe give him all of the queen 10.
Yeah,
If we do
you never
that,
know.
yeah, then we have pretty much exactly 50% equity versus range. So that's just gonna be
Yeah,
it's gonna be a
I'm
call.
personally, even if he had a full stack, I'm probably just calling it. I'm a station. I just can't fold a hand this strong.
I have no clue what I'd do. I honestly don't know.
I like the call, honestly.
Yeah, it's stronger than I thought it was going to be, to be honest.
Yeah, I
Yeah, if
agree
that's
with
gonna
that.
happen, that's fine.
Looking at it in Flopzilla, I definitely want the call 50 big steep. 100, I don't know.
If you have 50%, you're
It's
calling.
pretty crazy.
If you have 50%, you're
Yeah.
calling regardless of stack depth, but it also depends if you have any hints of how their range construction is for that size, right? If you have any
Yeah.
reads whatsoever. I can't see this 3-bet size because it's getting a bit blurry again. Oh, wait, how do we have 9-3 off here? Hang on, what?
Yeah, what the hell?
No, that's scarier to me. How do we have 9-3 off? We thought the 5-6 suited was out of line. This is very, very out of line.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
even like
I can't think of a single way we should be playing post flop with 9-3 off besides facing an open limp and checking the big. It's the only one I can think of. And we're in the small blinds. That did not happen. No.
yeah, was that like a
No,
misclick?
no,
That's
no,
a
no.
misclick, man. That's
Yeah, it
obviously
has
a
to
misclick.
be.
Yeah, that was a misclick. That was a misclick.
Okay.
And then I decided to punt.
Then you double down on your misclick
Yeah,
by
I'm like,
raising
yo,
this
let's go
flop
all
versus
out.
big for God knows what reason. No, fold. Fold.
Man,
Oh,
these are the things that are gonna hold you back.
this
These
is why
bluffs.
you have a 3 big blind win rate and not a 10 big blind win rate, because you just punted
Exactly.
7 bigs.
Yeah, and see the ace nine suited. I'm never calling this.
Versus this size, no, this is just a fold. This is a normal size in
Yeah.
these positions. Just fold it.
Yeah, ace 10 plus.
Ace 10's gonna mix 4-bet call.
Yeah, but even just pure call is fine. I'm sure.
I don't think 4-bets underperform versus these pools. I think you have a decent amount of nit regs that are gonna maybe even overfold to 4-bets. So I think that's
know
still a
that, like,
decent option.
I know when you get up to like 50 NL, people are gonna be folding the 4 bets like crazy. I think at like 10 NL, people are gonna be more stronger when they 3-bet in general. But
Maybe.
I mean, it's nothing really to stress out about.
We have to watch out a little bit with ace jack off. It gets into the 3-bet range here versus the button, but it's not a hand I love 3-betting because of that.
I like
Versus a
yeah, I
4-bet, it
like calling
sucks.
it.
I prefer to play, my ace 10 off, ace 9 off, ace queen off as a 3-bet than ace jack specifically. But
Okay.
if you look at a range from like Wizard or something, it's in there at a frequency anyway. It's just a question of it. And versus this size and position, just fold. Fold the ace jack. He overbets river. Yeah, fold. 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 Yes, okay.
Do you play 2 tables of this at a time?
Yeah, usually it's 2 tables when it's Zoom.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing more than 2 for a long
Yeah.
time.
I think 2 is a pretty good number, depending on, yeah, a few factors. I started out in the opposite end. I started out playing 4, and a few months into playing poker realized, nope, can't do this,
Yeah,
and went
it's
all
a
the way back down, and it took me
yeah.
some time to build it back up. Yeah. I don't know what
I
size we
just
c bet on 10-9 deuce monotone, but I want to c bet small just because it's a monotone flop.
yeah, I
You
like
went
a small
half.
bet.
Half.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go big on that. I mean,
Half is probably in the realm of reasonable anyway, but
it might be.
I'd just go for a block.
Monotone is like generally just small bets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
so.
Yeah, because the way they usually
I don't think you.
work, both
Yeah, I don't
monotone
think
and
you
paired
ever.
boards have a similar effect, or paired boards usually in spots where players can actually have trips, have an effect where they just give both players a ton of really strong hands. So nobody really has a huge nut advantage that they're trying to leverage with big bets.
Yeah,
So
that makes
everything just
sense.
gets sized down.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's some exceptions, in some 3-bet pots where there's like a paired 3 on board that nobody can hit. You can use a bunch of big sizes anyway, but if people do hit the pair, it's more small bets.
I think that you have been playing pretty well so far.
I did
Thank you,
not
that's
like
good.
open limping. I did not
Well, there
like
was
it.
a couple of things, but overall, I think
And
like
most of
you
them
got
were
the
misclicks,
sizes.
in fairness.
Yeah. So far, it looks pretty good.
10-8 off is...
I wouldn't open that. That seems a little loose to me.
It's cuspy. It's a mixed frequency
I think
open, so
is it? I think
yeah.
10-9 is like my worst hand.
Yeah, you could fold this. You could open it. Both are fine.
Yeah, and I'm just checking this flop, but I'm sure you can bet it at a frequency.
I'd play big bet or check. I'd play like a B70 or check, so I would check it too. But
Yeah, your hand just sucks so bad.
do we ever consider... No, we can't bluff this, right? Can we bluff this?
I mean, I'm sure you can,
How much betting
especially
do we
since
even
it's
do on the turn, though? On the river, I
yeah,
definitely want to bluff it, but I'm not sure even how much our
yeah.
range barrels turn.
I think you can bet tiny on the turn and then
Yeah,
blast the river.
I was
I
thinking
don't
the
know.
same thing. If we do barrel turn, I think it's going to be for a small size exclusively. But
Yeah, I think checking the turn's good though,
check turn
just
bet river
because
is reasonable, yeah.
yeah, you don't want to lose a ton of money if he does have it.
Yeah, and people... Do they overfold their... Are they going to fold, like, anything that's not a straight on that river? I don't know. What happened to all of the good hands? We started off with kings and queens simultaneously, and now we have deuce 4 off.
Oh yeah, I was thinking earlier. So, what do you guys think about this two big blind open at these stakes? I'm not like I'm just wondering like if you opened a 2.5 or like maybe even 3,
Mm-hmm.
you could potentially be making more like a higher big blind per 100
You're talking
because
theoretically or exploitatively?
exploitatively because these guys are maybe calling flop wider and folding more on the flop or the turn. I don't know. I just wondering what you guys think about.
Exploitatively, I do want a bigger size, 3, maybe even
Yeah,
4, just for a couple of reasons. For one, I expect population to under 3-bet
right.
and
Yep.
overcall the big blind, and
Yep.
usually if you're going to be in a heads-up pot in position versus the big blind,
Okay.
you want to use bigger sizes if possible, because it's well, not super huge, right, to the point that the range is really strong, but slightly bigger, because you are going to win the majority of that pot, right? You're in position, you have a stronger range. The bigger the
And
pot is, the
you're
better it is for you.
and you're against opponents that just don't know what they're doing. So
That as well,
I think
but the more they 3-bet, the more incentivized you are to open smaller, and that's something I don't think they're doing. So that's one
Yeah, that makes
reason.
sense.
And the second one
I
is I don't really want to go post flop and pay a ton of rake. So
Yeah,
that
I think that if you open to like 2.5 or maybe even 3 pre-flop, I think it might. It's up to you because maybe you're used to opening the 2, but I just think
it's a
maybe
little
if you,
blurry here. I want to see the action with kings.
yeah, can you
Prefer bet?
fix
Okay.
that?
Yeah.
But just consider it. Maybe open in a 2.5 or 3 before pre-flop.
It
Yeah,
can
I
be
like
tough
that
though.
adjustment
Yeah.
for
Okay.
um,
I'll try opening bigger.
there's data to support that too. I think
Yeah.
some old poker detox research showed that the larger opens from early position work better at these stakes. But
Yeah, and then once you get to 50 NL, you can go back down, or I don't know. It's just something to think about.
It's kind of a tough
Yep.
thing to tinker around with though sometimes because it's going to change post flop play pretty significantly.
Yeah, it's up to you, man.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
It's definitely a thing though in games where people under 3-bet and overcall. It's why a lot of people use bigger opens live as well. Same
Yep.
principle.
Oh, I see. Oh, play this video.
All right. Kings, 4-bet it, and we're going to get some action here from not aces, hopefully.
Yeah, he's gonna jam pocket nines. Ready?
Aces. I say aces. Jacks.
Yes.
It's a reasonable jam. Wow, did not expect that.
Jeez.
oof.
Yeah, it is
Oof.
what it is.
Oh.
You ran
10.
it twice. Great
Ah.
job.
Oh.
So why did you run it twice? I'm just curious. Why
Oh, I just have auto twice
is it
on.
auto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to run it once, but
You're a lunatic who loves variance and you're a degen. Run it twice.
yeah,
Either way is fine.
We've had this whole split down the middle of the group discussion before about whether you run it once or twice. We have our
just sucks when
degens
you
and our
like.
normal people.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's 10 and L, right? Like it's not gonna impact your life roll, the variance so much.
It's true.
You can just do whatever you want.
I like
Still.
run it once.
I
No.
like run it once is kind of fun if you're playing like a reg table because typically someone will win the pot, which will force more money to go in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
there's
hate it.
certain
Why do I
times
want to
where-
play deep?
Oh, wait,
Sucks.
check-
Terrible
alright.
idea.
This
Because
ace-jack,
it causes the money to put more fish in the table.
Yeah,
this
I
ace jack
guess.
offsuit.
Hang
that
on, what
he
did we do with
three-bet.
ace jack? Oh, way too
Sorry.
wide, yeah. Although I do
Yeah,
think
that-
ace queen off is a pure 3-bet.
It is, but not ace jack.
No, ace jack's
Okay.
gonna be a pure fold.
I think that
Oh, that is an interesting bet size.
yeah, I think he's got junk.
I was gonna say, really good turn for him. I was expecting a ton of big bets. Oh, there's
he's
the
at
big bet.
35.
Okay. Hang on. Okay.
Yeah,
Can we
he's
pause
got
it for a
it.
second?
Asshole.
Can we
No,
pause it for a
no.
second here?
Oh, you want to pause it? Okay.
Yeah. All right. So he bets 35. That's what? That's 4.5x pot.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The thing that confuses me is I don't see what value he has here.
These boats. It's always boats, right?
This is always
Yeah,
a
I
boat.
don't think he has
Yeah,
a vote.
I think it
I-
is.
Queen 10,
I don't-
Jack 10.
Oh, you don't
I
think
don't
it's a
think-
vote?
I don't think it is.
It,
I think
I mean,
he-
it
I think-
looks very bluffy though. But
So what I tend to, I'll let you guys know what I think. When fish bet really small, even when it's one big blind, two big blinds, whatever, generally it's a smaller pair. Like he could totally be doing that with a 10.
Yeah.
So
Big
I,
ten is
fi- I find, sorry, I find that when they bet small, even if it's one big blind, it's a weak hand, like a weak pair. It's generally like a weak pair, I think. But I don't know what you guys think.
I mean, I have no clue. I'd expect ace king to go bigger on the turn. But then I don't want to read too much
Especially-
into it because you see so many
Yeah.
fish just going for like min bet pot. It's such a common line. It's unbelievable.
Because generally he's probably going to be scared of the straights or the flush draws. So I think if he has a strong hand on the turn, he's gonna bet big.
so
That's what
putting
I
him on
think.
trip
I'm putting
10s
him on
then?
I'm putting him on trip tens. Yeah, I don't think he has a boat.
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
folding
That's
anyway,
fair. That's
but
fair.
I was just curious what people's thoughts were on the line.
That's what I think.
Reasonable.
He's probably thinking, oh, no flush.
No,
I'm
this
good.
is again too wide. No ace jack off, no ace 10 off, none of that crap.
Yeah, you gotta.
And no king jack off. Fold. Fold. Fold
Yeah,
that one. Come on.
you gotta study.
No! And not versus a short stack too. We're ripping this on him? No, no, no! Oh, that hurt.
Yeah,
No.
just cash it out.
Cash it out.
Oh,
Wait,
put
so
it in the.
sorry.
I'll put it in the grid.
I need to clarify on this, JR. You're against running it twice, but you want to cash out and give stars money. I don't see the logic. Oh, and what happened in ace 10 off? Just curious what our post flop line was like. Okay, so we check flop.
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, with a weak ace like that, I mean, you could check it, I think, but it's just weird because I would never play this hand. So
I think ace jack we can still just range bet ace jack 4. But yeah. Then versus big on the turn, think it's an easy call. If he goes big
This
on the
is a
river, is
5
this another
river.
opportunity to bluff shove?
No.
Okay.
I don't know about that. I think I'm a folding personally, but I don't know what you guys think.
We block 10-9, we block two pairs.
Ooh.
It's an attractive combo. The thing is, we don't have that
You
much
do have a
value.
diamond.
We do have the ace of diamonds too.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of love a bluff shove, not gonna lie. But are these players good enough to find folds,
Debatably.
Probably not.
not flushes? That's the problem.
I don't
But-
think they're gonna fold.
It's a pretty
This is
sick
just-
combo to do it with.
Like,
This
if you're
is
gonna
just-
bluff, this is the hand to do it with.
Mm.
If you have any bluffs at all, this is
The problem
Is it this
he's got
hand
so
or
much
is it? No, I
invested.
think it is just straight up this hand. Yeah. I
it
think
is
this
like
is the
exactly
hand.
this hand.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
See, you should have bluff shoved and totally gotten him to fold the eights, maybe.
Yeah.
The,
Should
the
have.
thing is that like when weaker players bet really big, usually they have a strong hand. I think
And they're never folding eights there.
that's
I also
the thing.
think
Yeah,
the call was
Okay.
Even if you don't shove, the call is the punt, right? Because
yeah.
you're
I
never
don't,
you're ahead of 0% of their value at that point.
right.
It's a question of
Yeah.
if they're over bluffing. Yeah.
Also, it's
I
blurry
mean,
again.
Yeah,
I mean,
it just got blurry
reg,
again.
a good reg can have huge bets there with complete air balls, but I don't think any of these guys are.
He
have
shouldn't
many-
really have many complete airballs there.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
He should have some bluffs.
Well, it's actually hard to find bluffs. Can we go back to that board for a sec?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
he can use some king 10, queen 10.
He could have pocket fives, pocket sixes, pocket nines, pocket tens.
you think he plays those hands? Like, what was the line? Didn't he?
Check,
Double
check,
I'm not
flop.
sure.
Check, flop.
I'm-
B 2/3 from him on the turn, and then this size.
2/3 on the turn feels
2/3 ish.
odd
Yeah.
with hands like tens, nines. So,
Yeah.
Well, he
Um,
checked the flop, didn't he? I mean, I think
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe at a frequency it's okay. I don't know.
I think what really determines a lot here is how much this guy is going to try to base his river bluffing range around having a diamond. Because he has very few offsuit combos here. So if he tries to just bluff diamond hands blocking flushes, he's going to be massively under bluffing.
Yeah, if
And this
he's
is a
bluffing,
punt to call.
he's got small pocket pairs if he's bluffing, I think, or like Jack 10.
He needs to be, not Jack 10, but he needs to be able to just take Queen 10 of clubs here, right? And fire it twice at a frequency. King 10.
Yeah,
Probably not King Queen, but
probably not. Yeah,
some
It
of
is-
these hands.
So it's kind of hard to find bluffs, but either way, I just don't think you're ahead of
I don't think he has many. Yeah,
of like much at all here. So I think you can fold this or shove it, but not call.
I can get
Okay.
behind that. Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. I think at these stakes, if they're betting huge like that, it's just let it go.
I mean, I want to bluff shove, but I'm a lunatic who's been called in those spots way too many times. So, probably should change that one. Oh, I didn't share the hand, but I had one hand this past week where some guy bet the river. No, he checked the river. I bet the river. He raised, and I 3-bet bluff shoved, and he absolutely snap called me with a pure bluff catcher, and I just got owned. But
Is that the one you showed me?
no, this was something
Fuck,
worse. There was a straight on board. There was only like one straight on board, which was like Jack 10. and I had pocket tens,
You
and I
know what's
just went nuts.
interesting is sometimes when people do that to me, it's like, oh, this guy must be a fish, just snapping it off. But it's like if you replay that hand in like Poker Tracker or whatever, and then you see your line, and sometimes it's like, man, what? Like this is like, how can you even like respect that? Because it's like some of the, I don't know. I do it sometimes. It's like, man, that my bluff was so bad. It was so obvious I had nothing, you know. But
My
in
bluff was
game, it
reasonable, I thought.
really,
Because the
and I
thing
do it
was,
sometimes.
in the spot that I was in, it wasn't really using tens exactly. It wanted to use queen ten, which had a blocker to two pair combos as well as the straight, like with the queen, and then the ten is the straight blocker. But it was also splitting its river betting range between a shove and a bet two-thirds, and Jack 10 was mainly shoving, and I was mainly playing that into my two-thirds bet because I wasn't really going to have a shove. So I actually had a lot more value there than the solver would, and I thought it was reasonable.
Yeah, some people just think it looks like you're bluffing, so they're like, "Oh, it looks like he's bluffing, so I'm gonna call." And just like the lines, I don't know. I do that sometimes, and it's like, "Yep, he had a bluff. I got him."
No, I think this guy just more went, I have a set, I call, and that was that.
Yeah.
But hindsight 2020, shouldn't have tried to get him to fold a set. Okay, what happened with pocket eights? We did what?
Small call on the flop.
Flatted.
Call turn.
Call turn. I don't know about this turn call.
Wait, hang on. Yeah, let's go
Oh
back.
no. That's
Yeah, this is a
Yeah.
fold. This is definitely a fold.
yeah. What are you
This
hoping
is-
to? You're drawing to like two outs that aren't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these are
This is a
Neither of your
fold.
outs are
Not
clean?
clean outs, yeah.
Okay, yeah, this is the part of the video where I became very high, so
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
well,
was
these are the
ambitious.
plays. These are the plays that are gonna hold you back for a long time.
yeah, that's a clear fold on this.
Yep, and it's blurry again, for the record.
It's blurry. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if you make one play like that, you know, once every 2 or 3 days, those add up very, very fast, and they're gonna hold you back.
The fact that we haven't clicked fold yet is scaring me, okay.
The other thing is that when they take that line, they're not going to give up enough on the river.
I agree with that too, yeah.
Typically, the reason you would call like a pure bluff catcher that's not really trying to outdraw anything is because they will give up enough such that your floats will be profitable.
Right.
But people, when they double barrel, especially on a board like that, they're going to triple barrel way too often and not give up enough. So that solver play just doesn't work.
Hang on, what happened
Yeah,
here
you-
with both
It's really
hands?
weird.
Yeah, we missed the pocket deuces and the king queen off here. Okay, so king queen off is not a 3-bet. This is just a fold, I think, for the most part. Maybe a low
Oh,
frequency
okay.
3-bet.
When they raise 4 big blinds, though, I mean,
Well, yeah, you have to call at that point.
No, I'm
I didn't-
talking
Yeah.
3-bet pre.
Yeah, I put
Oh.
a three
Maybe
bet.
low frequency.
for a
And
fold,
then
right?
he goes 4 more bigs. Yeah, probably just do need to call it.
It should be a fold.
yeah. Well, now it's a
No,
snap
yeah,
fold.
just fold.
Yeah. Hang
don't
on, we
even-
also
don't
missed an
even-
interesting hand with pocket deuces, like maybe a minute ago. Minute and a half. That's the one. Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking this might be a call on the
So,
turn.
yeah, 8-8-4. He checks flop, was that it? Or did he see bet
Yeah,
flop?
we check flop.
Wait, why is the pot so big if he checked flop?
Opens big, I guess, pre?
He opened like huge.
Pot, maybe? Pot. Yeah,
3.5.
Yeah.
Jesus.
pot.
Okay.
I think you can call with pocket pairs if they open big.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can for sure.
On the turn, I like just blocking turn.
Call
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah, I think turn we could
Oh.
either check, call, or block. I think
Both
block's
are
gonna
so sad.
perform better.
Well, you got to think if I call the turn and he bets the river, am I going to call again? Because he's probably going to bet the river on a board like that.
You could have a decent
On
amount
like
of
a
give
river
ups there.
brick,
Eh,
you can consider.
calling, yeah.
Yeah, and people will overbluff those lines a lot with a lot of overcards. So
Yeah, but is it worth finding out what he has? I don't know.
very difficult for him to have a much of a value hand there.
So weird.
Unless
What's
he's
going on
checking
with
some
that?
overpairs on the flop, yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind the fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fold, honestly.
So we see bet flop for half pot, check turn. I definitely don't want to barrel turn, so yeah, I like it.
So wait, what was this a 3-bet?
3-bet.
We
Oh wait.
up this
Oh, this
river.
is
This is a
button
little ambitious,
versus.
I think.
Hang on, can you replay the ace jack hand? I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
no
is.
worries.
because
I'll be back.
I got something to say about this one. All
Yeah.
right, so and it's a little blurry again.
Man,
Blurry
why
again.
so much blur?
Yeah, can
Yeah,
you?
no, it's.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. So
This is better.
Yeah.
yeah,
Hold on, let
Just-
me try
Yeah.
restarting my internet 1 second.
Just pause it for a second, yeah.
I think on this flop with the ace jack, I think half pot is the size, and then on the turn when it's a brick, I think you can definitely blast the turn, especially having a jack.
I don't
Blocking,
want to have a jack. That's the issue. For one, we have 2 blockers to flop backdoor flush draw floats.
Well, like, what do you
And
think he's calling?
I
What do you
think
think he's calling
Jack
the flop with?
10 needs to mix fold on the turn. I don't think Jack 10 can continue this. Maybe it's even a pure fold on the turn versus a big size out of position. Pure fold might be
This
the
would,
line.
this would be interesting to check in Wizard, because I think you can bet the turn on the brick.
I don't think you can ever bet the turn with this combo. What
Somebody
was the
run
turn
this-
again?
Run the solver.
Hang
Yeah,
on, I'm gonna check it.
It's 5. It's
on a 5. No, this is also not good for range. He's gonna hit some 6, 7.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah,
This
maybe
is
not on a 5.
pure
Yeah,
check.
maybe not on a 5. If it was a 4, I think you could though.
I'm not
I'm
even
gonna
gonna
check it real
barrel
quick.
on a 4. I don't like it either, but I wouldn't even barrel ace jack of clubs here, and that's like our nut suit to barrel.
I'm gonna check it real quick. So
Yeah.
if it was a 4, I think you could, but we'll see.
Still don't think we can barrel on a 4.
So ace jack off is basically betting half pot on the flop. It's most preferred option, and then let's say it's a 4. What is it, off? It's offsuit.
Yeah, offsuit 4.
So
It's rainbow.
Yeah.
all right, so on the 4, it is betting. Hang on. It's only checking about 30% of the time.
Really?
Between 10 and 30% of the time.
Hang on. Now I'm gonna pull it
So
up.
it's betting almost about 75% of the time.
This
on a
is
4.
hijack versus button 3-bet pot.
Yes, and the button's betting with ace jack offsuit about 75% of the time. But let's say it's a 5 instead of a 4. Let's see what happens then. I'm wondering, you probably can. It's pure betting. It's literally betting 95% of the time on this
Hang
5 turn.
on.
So
Offsuit
yeah, so
5
Bomb
turn.
this turn.
so the reason is, I think, is because he's calling the flop with a lot of like suited aces and small pocket pairs. But hang on, let's see. So let's say we bomb the turn. It's mostly betting like the half pot size or like a third pot. Oh wait, hang on. Yeah, it's mostly betting half pot and small third. So if we bet half pot, he's folding. Yeah, that's because it expects him to be calling all his suited broadways with like with the gut shot and the backdoor flush
Yeah.
draw. So
Hang on. What ranges are you using, just out of curiosity?
general 500.
General 500 or general 2.5x 500?
General.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be definitely very dependent on pre-flop ranges, because I have the same thing with ace jack off, betting flop at a decent frequency, mainly for half pot, preferred size. But then on a 5 turn, I have the only bet size being used being 75%, right? Or something in that realm.
Yeah.
And
That's probably what I would do in game.
ace jack, specifically with the ace of clubs, unblocking the backdoor flush draw floats, is betting very, very often. And the rest of the ace jack combos, well, the ones with the jack of clubs bet like 2/3 of the time, and the ones with no club at all are betting between 40% to 30% of the time.
Yeah.
Depending
So
on suit.
I just changed it to 2.5, and it's different. It's
Yeah.
preferring the much bigger bet, but it's mostly checking.
I think it
unless has
also
a club.
hinges a lot on the way hijack plays his Jack 10 suited here, because my initial guess was right. If you look at versus the big bet, Jack 10 suited is indifferent, right, between
Yeah.
continuing and folding. So
So
the value of our Jack blocker here really hinges on what he does with that Jack 10 suited. If he's folding it, this hand becomes much worse to bluff. And if he's calling it,
like,
this becomes better.
so in real life, what do you think this guy's calling the flop with?
Versus
not
half
raising.
pot,
Yeah,
Probably pocket pairs.
that's what I think. I think it's probably
Yeah.
like pocket fours, pocket twos,
Yeah, sixes,
maybe
sevens.
twos, sixes, sevens.
if he's pocket pair heavy, our turn barrel goes up in value because he's probably going to fold out on the turn.
Yeah, maybe like king or like queen 10 or
Yeah, queen
hands
10's a
like
gut
that.
shot. I don't think that can fold.
Yeah, I think betting again on the turn is definitely viable. Or you could check. I think it's really up to you, but I think you could totally bet the turn.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I think I would play it as a check, but yeah.
Yeah, because he's not raising you on the flop, so I mean he can't be that strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then I think you just check. I think you just check and lose now. I don't know, unless you really think bluffing's gonna work.
Yeah, I like the check too.
Because I mean you can win sometimes, but probably never.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta
chop.
give it up.
I don't know. You're probably not beating anything. I don't really like the bluff.
Yeah, I
But
don't like it either. I think just checking it down is probably best. He's probably gonna call.
I mean, you can bluff. I think
Hang
if
on,
you
can we
bluff,
pause
you
for a
want to bet
second
bigger.
here? So if we do bet this size, this is close to half pot, right? So if he folds more than a third of his range here, assuming we have no showdown value if we check, this is profitable.
You know what? I like this bet. You know why? Because you got the blocker, you have the blocker, and he checked the turn and the river. So I mean, it can't be bad to bluff this. You're never gonna win. When do you ever win? When you check. I mean, you pretty much have to bluff if you want any chance of winning this hand.
Yeah, I think we have 0% equity here.
I think betting huge is.
The fact that he just called that is depressing.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know. I'm sure it's fine. Just checking or whatever.
Checking. Did anybody run it on Wizard or?
I checked.
What?
It's indifferent.
It's indifferent. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good to know. Good to know.
We never bluff our ace queen or ace king, but our ace jack is indifferent.
Right, because you're ahead of ace jack and ace queen.
No, our ace queen and ace king both have no showdown value whatsoever. It's just that it's a bad river. We can't bluff all of our air, and ace jack is a better blocker.
Yeah, it's lower down in the range.
Yeah, but both of them have 0% showdown value as a check. All three hands. Definitely a cool spot though.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I think if we are going to bet flop check turn, I like the river bluff.
Yeah, I think a bigger size though.
Yeah, I think so too. Like maybe 70%.
Yeah, that's what I think. If you're gonna bluff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You don't always have to bluff it.
My read on pool is that they're gonna peel too many pocket pairs on the flop in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So when they do get so when they do get to that river, they're just gonna have too weak of a range that's gonna fold to the river bet.
The bluff makes sense too, I think.
Yeah.
If you look at it in villain's eyes. The bet check bet.
I mean, you're gonna have some overpairs there. You're gonna have some aces. You know, yeah. He c-bets. Don't think we want to play any raises on that flop.
So what is this 9-8? Hang on. Go to the rewind this one. I want to see this. Did he 3-bet?
Yep.
So I think it's definitely a frequency call.
Yeah.
And it's not this isn't a pure open either, but it's also a frequency.
9-8 doesn't want to peel very much because it's going to be dominated a lot. We'd
Yeah,
rather have something like
9-8
6-5. But versus this size, I think it's definitely fine. It's less than
9-8's
4x.
the worst. It's the worst suited connector.
I think 10-9
Oh,
is
really?
worse in these
Okay.
positions.
But yeah, I'm pure calling the flop.
Yeah. Those higher suited connectors are
I
kind of interesting in that as you get into later positions, like if it's button versus small blind, they kind of go up in value because they have overcards to more pocket pairs when small blind's just going to be playing 3-bet or fold and have 6s, 7s, those hands, you know.
So hang on, go back to the turn on this 9-8. So I don't why do you like the small size? What do you think he's gonna call with, like a one club hand?
That's a good question. I think that's a good question actually. What would he call with? What he bet the flop, right? He bet the flop half pot, I
Right.
believe.
What do you think his most likely hands are
Mm.
here? Is it,
He three bet. So
so like a king
yeah,
or just
maybe a
complete
king,
pair?
queens, maybe jacks, and
I
tens,
think
maybe
he
sometimes aces.
I think he has either nothing, just like basically complete air
Yeah,
with maybe a one club in his hand, or I think it's a pretty good chance he has a king.
king. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that if you're gonna bet, you may as well just go for it. I think half
Okay.
pot's good.
Am I the only one that sees merits in splitting our sizings on the turn and having a small bet and a big bet? I think we can definitely benefit from some equity denial by betting, you know, our 7s with a club, maybe even without a club as well. Just pocket 7s, pocket 8s, maybe pocket 4s, small on the
But
turn.
what
Yeah,
pocket?
I'm ja-
I don't know. I don't know about that, but I mean,
I
I like a
think,
geometric size on the turn just because
I'm
your
yeah.
value range is going to be very nutted or nothing. But
yeah, no, I think I would split and have that geometric size, something in the realm of like B70, and then have a small size as well. Because when he checks, he's going to barrel a ton of his king X, right? So when he checks,
I
that's
think
just going to be a lot of overcards that we can deny equity against. I'm curious.
so. I think when you bet small on that turn, that he's gonna fold out his queen. I'm trying to think, like ace
Hang on,
queen
just
with
pause
like
it
the
here for
queen
a
of
second, maybe?
clubs.
If we pause it here. Yeah, okay. Ace queen. You think if we
Ace
bet
queen with
small, he folds ace queen with the queen of clubs or peels it?
I think he folds that every time. I
If
think
we
he's
bet
even
small,
gonna yeah, like the third pot. I think so,
I
and
think
I
it's a
think
no,
he's
punt
gonna
if he folds it, and it becomes even better if he folds it. Then I really
yeah,
want to have a small bet size as well.
I think he's gonna fold that to a small bet. I think he's gonna even consider like ace queen with the ace of clubs, maybe if it's maybe not a small side. I don't know. He
Either
might
way, I
consider
think it's
folding
a
it.
win-win because let's say he has ace queen with the queen of clubs here, right? And we have pocket 7s on the turn. And we bet
Yeah.
small. I don't think he's going to bluff raise turn enough. If he has like ace queen or let's say ace 10 with the ace of clubs and he finds that somehow some low roll not barrel, he's probably going to be
Okay.
supposed to check raise that a lot, which I don't think he's going to
Well,
do. So
also
the point
the
I'm trying to make is if he does call his ace queen with the queen of clubs, it's fine because it's a hand we're ahead of, we're just getting value from the hand. If he folds it, we're denying a ton of equity because that hand still has a decent amount of equity against us. The only disastrous situation, really, or disastrous, it's not that bad, particularly if he's not bluffing. But the worst case scenario is we bet and he raises, and I don't think that's going to happen enough.
yeah, I think that he's just gonna fold most of his range to a small bet, and the hands that he's calling a small bet with, I think he's probably gonna call a half pot size bet.
Yeah,
And I
that's
think
that's
that
why I want to split. I want a big size with some of our stronger hands that are going to be barreling off for value, you know, our strong
yeah,
king X, our flushes, and then I want a
and
smaller size with some of the hands that benefit more from equity denial, mainly.
yeah, the funny thing about these three bet pots too is like when you bet half pot on the turn, it makes the river jam like really close to. Did he do a smaller size on the flop?
I
I mean,
didn't
but
notice.
pre-flop.
Oh, pre-flop he went to 9, that I remember.
I think it's six.
No, he did 9.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, he did nine. You're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then what did he do on the flop? Was
I
it
think he
half
did half
pot?
pot. Yeah.
Yeah, so like even if he went to like 10 pre-flop and then it was a little bigger on the turn, if you go half pot right here, the
Yeah.
geometric sizing is going to be like perfect.
Okay. Okay.
That's just that's basically my default size. Is if I'm gonna stab the turn, it's gonna be half pot. But I'm sure you can have small bets too.
Yeah,
That's just my
I
simplification.
have a sim for a similar spot, not these exact positions. I have small blind versus low jack. And turn we're betting like 30% of the time with range, 6%, 1/3, 7%, half pot, and then like 20%, 2/3.
Yeah, I just
Right.
like to simplify. I just use half pot, but
I think I'd go for a split with 1/3 and then 2/3. Funnily enough, pocket sevens wants to bet 2/3.
I
I
do
get
like the
that.
jam on the river. By the way, I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
So nines is a pure call, I think.
Nines versus earlier position versus early position.
He limped
Yeah.
too. He limped and then
Oh wait, hang on. What happened?
he
Were you
limped.
ISO'd?
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw
I thought he 3-bet you, but never mind.
Oh, that's a weird spot.
My bad.
a raise. No, he did 3-bet.
Yeah, he limped
Yeah.
3-bet. Okay.
Jack
Oh,
king.
I thought you were under the gun. My bad. I'm confusing you guys.
Yeah. It's getting a little blurry again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fucking Discord.
no. So I don't know how to say your name. Nogioski?
Yep.
Nogioski?
Nogioski, yep.
Okay, I sent you a message in general, a way to prevent it from going blurry.
Okay, let me see here.
You can just launch it using the better text readability option. That it'll drop the FPS, but it'll keep it crisp.
This is poker.
Okay.
Nobody cares about FPS.
Exactly. Exactly.
How do I?
I'm just gonna pour myself some coffee. BRB.
Alright.
Alright, is that better? Is it crisp now?
Yeah, it looks fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you actually can tell the FPS drop off. Huh, I did not expect that one.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't. This is a very weird spot on the right.
So wait, hang on. What the hell happened with pocket nines?
Yeah, he
So
limp
so
3-bet
did you
from under the
3-bet?
gun. No. He limps, we
He
ISO,
let
he
3-bet.
3-bets,
Yeah, he
and then
3-bet,
check
he
check
flat.
flop.
What the hell?
Yeah, I'd expect a range bet from him, so this is really confusing me.
Yeah, this is weird.
Check, and then he
Yeah.
check.
I
His check
think
is fine,
that
right?
so he could have so he could have pocket aces.
Oh wait,
here,
no, we
and
donk
he
flop.
could.
Never mind. We donk flop. We're way
Oh
off here.
man,
I
don't
don't like
like
this
that.
donk.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's the stuff that's gonna be really hurting you in the long run.
I mean, okay, wait,
There
can
should
we
be a
pause for a
check.
second? In general, my
Yeah.
general rule at least is when somebody takes a really weird non-theoretical action like limp 3-betting with no clearly defined range where I have no clue what they usually have there, I don't play donking ranges
Yeah,
because it's just too confusing for me. In this spot, when he limp 3-bets, I expect this to be a lot of aces, kings, and the like, versus
Yeah, so
which I also don't like the donk.
what's going through your head when you wanted a donk? Like, do you think he's just gonna fold like ace king or something, or ace queen?
I wanted him to call me with like ace queen, ace king, king queen. I thought he was just 3-betting too much from looking at his stats.
This is a limp 3-bet though. This is
Yeah,
special.
That's true.
I think usually when people do that, it's pocket pair heavy, like aces, kings, or I think it's aces or kings, honestly.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. That doesn't happen to me very often.
This is a
Yeah, it
very
doesn't really.
interesting.
I don't see it a lot either.
But I think a lot of the time it's aces or kings. And he could think you have a jack and he just has aces and he's just scared to death. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think we just have a
Oh,
clear.
excuse.
Yeah.
Can we go back for a sec there?
Hang on.
I
You
think
want
I
to just
like.
finish the hand with den nines and then we'll go back? I think we just have a clear check fold on the river.
Yeah, just let it go. Just let it go.
This one? Okay.
This is even too spicy for me to be check jamming.
And
Do you
then
have queens?
Check jamming. When did we check jam?
I said too spicy to check jam.
Oh.
Yeah. Hang on. What happens? He checks back pocket
Yeah, see,
queens.
he
There
has
you go.
queens.
Yeah. Anyway, now let's go back and take a look at the jack nine versus deuces.
Jack nine.
That's funny. He was scared to death that you had a jack.
Alright.
So here you went big, but can we pause for a sec?
Yeah, pause.
Yeah.
Big is a little odd, given that he probably expects you to bet most of your ace-x earlier. I think you'll actually have more fold equity with like a half pot size here, representing like a 10 or something, right?
Okay.
Like if you pot it here, it looks very bluffy if you go big.
I mean, in theory, we should have a decent amount of weak ace-x, or a lot of ace-x actually in the check-check
On the
line.
left.
But it's debatable if we're perceived to have that or not. I agree.
Fair.
Yeah,
fair.
I don't think the big bet makes any sense, honestly.
I think something like a half pot looks good here if
Half
you are
pot.
going to bluff. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at it, if you think of it in his shoes, it's like
Yeah, that's right.
you check the turn with no. I mean, you're
Ace
not going to
deuce
bet like a
suited, ace
draw on the
5
turn.
suited, ace 7 suited, ace
It just
jack
doesn't.
probably at a frequency, ace 7
Yeah,
off. We have so much ace x here that wants to go this size theoretically. But I do agree if players anticipate that you're going to bet that on earlier streets, even if you don't,
yeah,
then
you
our
got to
fold
think of
equity
it
goes
in his
down.
shoes. It just looks like it's like really you're not going to bet an ace on the turn. You're not going to bet your draws on the turn. It's like I don't know. It
Yeah.
just looks very suspicious.
Yeah. Yeah. And so he probably sniffed out the bluff here. But
In
if you go
fairness,
half,
this is
then it's
also a
like,
pretty easy spot to overbluff.
yeah.
It is, yeah.
Well,
But I
not
mean, the
actually that
only
easy,
it's like
but
what do you
somewhat
it's like
easy.
what are you representing on the river? King 10? That's like probably the only hand, right?
Even that feels a little too big for King 10.
Yeah, see, he snaps it with twos.
I
I
think
don't
king
blame
10
him.
for that size is reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's like the only hand.
What king 10 and all of our ace x that doesn't bet earlier streets?
Yeah.
Interesting. But what about the flop and turn? Do you think it's fine as played?
I think you
Maybe it
just
doesn't
check
fit.
it down and lose, man. Because
Just
I
check
mean,
it down. Okay.
yeah, because you have no equity on the turn. It's not like you have a gut shot or anything.
It is a
If you had
pretty
a gut,
Yeah.
good run out for our range though overall, or decent run out for our
yeah,
range at least.
I just don't like I don't like bluffing with like no draws or anything. Just complete stone air. I just don't like it. I like to have at least a gut shot.
It's very rare that there's a lot of just stone nothing bluffing in spots where we have a significant range disadvantage, but that can
Mhm.
actually be a pretty big leak if you're just bluffing equity driven hands in spots where you have a
Yeah,
big
I
range
mean
advantage.
yeah, it's something I have to look into definitely.
Yeah, it's debatable, but
That's how I feel. I don't know.
I'm just peeling the tens, but I don't love it. Check.
Check.
And win usually versus like sixes. Oh, ace eight. Huh. Man, I cannot guess any of these hands.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So we're opening to a smaller size in early position and bigger size in late position.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed that you're kind of changing your sizes a little bit too.
I mean, it's theoretically reasonable, right? Early position, you're going to be 3-bet more, so makes sense, but I think
Yeah,
Is five ever is this ever a 4-bet?
I would 4-bet
I
this
know.
sometimes.
Right? Because there's dead money 4
Yeah,
bet.
no, I think ace four suited is the four bet. Ace five suited is more. It's more of a pure call. I think at a sliver it's a four bet, but ace
There,
four suited
there is
is
also
the
some
four bet.
consideration here about he's probably going to be a bit too strong here when he squeezes out of the big, because he can very easily just call and see this flop.
Yeah, I think you should have called that, but that's because he still has like pocket tens, pocket jacks, pocket queens, pocket kings. He has king queen suited. He has all sorts of hands that can lose to your top pair.
Mm. Okay.
I think the ace-5 is close.
Sometimes you make a straight or a flush.
Sometimes you do.
It's true. It
Sometimes
do
you
be
make a
like
weak
that.
top pair and lose a ton of money to ace-king.
Yeah, the thing with ace five is you have to be careful because if you flop top pair and he starts shoveling in money, then you have to wonder, you know. But if usually it bets once on the flop and then checks down or whatever.
It's definitely going to over-realize its equity post if people aren't barreling aggressively enough.
Yeah, especially not on ace high flops.
I think I'd just bet my queen jack myself.
What, leading the river?
Well, went c-bet call check check turn. I just want to
Yeah,
go
I
for
don't think
value on
I
the
don't think
river.
yeah, I don't think he's betting a nine on the flop.
He
Yeah,
might bet
and so,
some 9x, but still not that much.
I don't think it's very often though.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just a hand class that really wants to go 2/3.
On
yeah,
the
and the other
river.
Block
thing
might be
is,
Yeah,
fine too, but
I
I'd
think it
rather just
makes
go
sense.
2/3.
Yeah.
if you really want to go for a check call, they need to be, bluffing,
Yeah,
value betting worse often enough, and I just don't think they're doing that after checking back. So I like a lead.
100% agree. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think he's ever gonna bluff the river either.
yeah. I think I'd play mainly an overbet size with just like my 9x and stronger, or 9x and stronger, and then build out maybe 3 sizings, maybe overbet 2/3 and a third.
Yeah, overbet. I like the overbet on that if you had trips or better.
Yeah,
Because it's like you may as well just go for it. Why bet small? Because
it's another consideration. I mean, theoretically, you would definitely want to mix some of your hands with more blockers to the calling range, like maybe boats and the like, into smaller sizes. But for that EV to equal the EV of going bigger, it's going to involve them bluff raising you on the river a significant amount, which they
This
very well might not do.
that was a spicy open on the button with 3-2 to
Oh, wait,
3
we
big blinds.
opened 3 deuce on the button?
the hell.
Where was this? I missed it.
Let's go back a hand.
Yep, we're gonna have to talk about this one.
This is where the edibles kick in, guys.
Okay, in
Three big
fairness.
Winner is so
Oh,
disappointed.
okay. In
Yeah,
fairness, the blinds are very relatively tight, but this is still
but
just spicy.
it's 7 and 12 hands. In
I
your
know.
sample. It's nothing.
yeah, you can't be doing that, man. You gotta study your charts a little more. Little
think-
things like that.
I mean, he obviously knew it wasn't an open, which is why he sized up, right?
maybe he
But,
was bored. But
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
spicy. It's spicy.
I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's not like you 3-bet it, but still.
And it's honestly, it's not that terrible if they're like super nitty, but
Honestly,
It's-
even if they're not super nitty, if they're just absolutely terrible post flop, it's not like opening 3 deuce suited is going to be a huge EV loss if you can outplay them significantly.
yeah, like I really don't mind opening wider on the button at these stakes because they'll just they'll under raise and they won't bluff enough and they'll overfold post and yada yada. But 3-2, 3, I don't know. It's a little sketchy. Not gonna lie.
Oh man,
It's ambitious.
Yeah, it is.
Ambitious. Yeah, we'll use that word.
Ambitious.
It's ambitious. It's not a punt by any means, but it's ambitious.
This is interesting. 1 BB. And
That's
it's
a
called.
call.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm
And
playing
then-
this as a raise. No, probably not.
If he bets one
This is
on
a
the turn,
fold.
oh yeah, that's just a fold.
It's
I'd
a
probably
fold.
just fold. I'd just fold to one on the turn, probably.
Interesting.
But yeah, definitely calling because sometimes you turn at 4 or another 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a
And sometimes
backdoor
he just
flush
checks.
draw, no, maybe even still not bluff raising flop with a backdoor flush draw. Might need like a backdoor straight draw too. Tempting
Yeah, if he
though.
bets one on the turn, I'm just gonna fold. I think.
No taking
maybe.
your
I don't
bottom
know.
set blocker and shoving it in his face. None of that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like definitely studying your pre-flop charts. I don't think that you need to do work so much on your 4 betting at these stakes because people are going to be three betting you a much stronger range. But definitely study your opening ranges and your three betting ranges. They're pretty good though. Don't get me wrong. I think you're doing pretty good, man. But
Thank you.
I don't know. Just look them over.
You haven't done anything wildly unreasonable yet.
No, I think you're playing pretty well, honestly, overall.
Eight
I don't.
nines. Is that a call?
I
No,
think
I
it's
don't think
borderline.
I think it's
I
a
think
mixed defended 500 zoom rig.
at 500. I
think.
think it's a pure
I thought it
call.
was mixed at 500.
I'm curious. I want to look.
Check.
Was that blind versus blind?
No, it's a pure call at 500. 8-7 is the mix.
Yeah, I don't think at 50 or lower it's a call though.
Oof.
Alright, we see bad. It's fine sometimes. See check raises, easy fold. Yeah.
Just snap fold it.
It's also a very big check raise size.
Yeah. Very scary.
Even versus a small check raise size, I'm probably folding that anyway.
Do any of you guys open the two big blinds early position?
I did for a time, and then I switched away from it, pretty much for the reasons
Yeah.
I listed.
I mean, I play 200. I don't like the two open. I do 2.5.
It's not a huge EV difference either way.
I don't think it really matters, honestly. I just don't like the two such a small sizing. It's just
Nobody's
weird to me.
mixing open sizings?
Oh no, like bigger on the button.
No, I'm talking like splitting your range and opening different sizes with different hands.
Oh, absolutely not.
Aw.
That just sounds weird.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I'm sure. It depends. Whoa, ace 10 offsuit. I don't think that's a three bet.
That is a 3-bet of the frequency.
Is it?
Because we
I
want to have
think
a
it's versus
polar
button.
3-betting range here versus the button. So we have, I think ace 9 is our highest frequency offsuit ace 3-bet.
Yeah, it's very low frequency.
Oh, ace 9 isn't very low frequency. I think ace 9 is like 30-40% of the time, maybe 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe like ace 5 off or like ace 7 or ace 8 off.
No, I think ace 9 is the highest one. I'm pretty sure. Last I studied the ranges.
I don't do frequencies when I'm three betting. I just have a simplified strategy.
Yeah, it's like ace 4 is 10%, ace 5 is 14%, ace 6 doesn't really like it, ace 7 is 30, ace 8 is 20, ace 9 is 30 again.
Are you
So
looking
ace
at the
9 is 7.
500 NL rig structure?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, use the 50.
Is it
Oh,
going to go
sorry.
way up because we're...
It's just gonna make it more polarized, right? It'll shift the bluffs down to weaker hands because you expect
Oh,
them
that's
to
interesting,
call
yeah.
less.
What do you guys think about this?
You got a hand here. So what did you do? Did
Oh
you
yeah, it goes all the way
three-bet?
down to the weak offsuit aces. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
It was a 3-bet, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm betting this flop with this
Yeah, right.
hand. I'm doing half pot. My thing is a little.
Okay.
I do a little bigger than half pot
You want to pause for a second?
because that's too big. I think.
I mean, I don't know about your sims. My sims here for this flop bet roughly 60% of the time, using a 70% size, maybe 20% of the time, and a 30, maybe 40% of the time, roughly.
30, okay.
Well, how many sizes do you have on the
Just a
flop?
30 and a 70, two sizes. It usually
Yeah,
it
I mean-
splits between the two. You might be able to just simplify to half pot.
Hang on, let me check this real quick.
But yeah, it's kind of interesting because the way our big size kind of works is we want to build it out in a way that versus a jam, because in positions only raise size versus big is a jam, we have comfortable folds. So
Okay, so I got the frequencies right here with different sizes. So it's preferring third pot and half pot, and it does the big bet, just not as often. But it's betting. So this hand is betting the flop 94% of the time.
yeah, and I'm
Okay.
assuming this splits into the big sizing. I want to say slightly more than global frequency.
So I have a big simplified three betting strategy, small blind first button. and I'll let you guys know what it is. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of controversy about it. But so basically, the button calls with so much garbage, and your range is so much stronger. So like on any flop that I have, like any sort of a draw or a backdoor draw, I'm betting the flop every single time. And then let's say, so like this hand, I'm betting the flop,
Wait, hang
and
on. Let me just clarify. On any flop where your specific hand has some
yeah,
form of draw, you're betting it, or where
yeah,
your range hits a lot of draws, you're betting it.
I'm betting, I'm playing my hand. So
Okay.
especially with the overcards. So like let's say it's queen 2-3, with a flush draw. I'm betting that flop with a backdoor straight draw. And then if I turn a 10, a jack, I mean if I turn a 10, then I'm barreling because I picked up equity. And that's what I do small blind first button, because your range is so much stronger. So when I studied upswing, this is what they taught me, and this is how I play it. So on this particular flop with this particular hand, I have a gut shot. I'm betting the flop, and I'm probably barreling the turn because he has all sorts of stuff. He has all sorts of stuff he's going to call the flop with and fold the turn. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but
I mean, the logic sounds good.
Yeah,
this is specifically small blind first button.
And you're making this adjustment because you think they have too many low pocket pairs and suited connectors in range.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind the big bet here. I think something between I like a half pot generally, but this seems absolutely fine.
you and your half pot start splitting sizes. Give yourself bigger
I like the
sizes.
You know,
I like
you
the
don't.
half pot.
You really don't need to split 3 sizes here. You can just half pot it.
No,
It's
but
fine.
splitting two here is not bad. I wouldn't split three, but splitting two is definitely reasonable.
Yeah,
I
that's
I
reasonable for sure.
I,
But
I have 3 sizes, but I think you can just literally just use half pot and nothing else. Like I
Probably
think
fine.
it's yeah. But
uh,
so why did you pick the big size?
I picked big size because I think if I have like something good here like aces, kings, queens, even tens, I want to go big because there seems to be quite a bit of draws on this board.
Yeah, so I like that logic.
Just on that note, just to add on, if you are splitting two sizes here between small and big, the big size is really built around that region of overpairs, strong top pairs like aces, kings, and ace queen. But
Hmm.
your queens and tens will never ever go big because they have pretty severe blockers to his continue range. So sets
But
specifically will always go small if you're splitting sizes.
with that being said, though, he has a lot of hands that can call a big size with, like any flush draw, any open ender. He does on this particular board. He does have a lot of hands that he can call with.
Yeah, I'm just saying
Um,
theoretically sets here will always go small and your big size will be a lot of overpairs, strong top pairs, some two pairs, some queen 10 will get in there, you know,
that makes sense.
that
But
region.
so what is your plan on the turn if he calls? Because it's easy to play the flop. What are you going to do on the turn if he calls?
That's a good question. Honestly, if he calls this flop, well, I guess it depends on the turn card. If it's a blank, we can probably. Let's just let me think. What is he calling? Yeah, because there's a lot of draws, right? So honestly, might have to check the turn because I think he'll just call a lot of turns. He's
We'll see.
calling this
Like
flop.
I liked your train of thought at first because he does have a lot of draws, and I think if he
Yeah,
calls and the turn is a brick, I
yeah.
think I think that you're gonna put a lot of pressure on his draws if you
Mm,
bet again. But I think checking is viable too, because if I was in his position and I had an open ender or a flush draw, I'm calling
yeah,
the turn. I don't care what size you're betting, and I'm
yeah.
going all in. I'm jamming the river if I miss and if you check.
A very
Right, right.
interesting line that occurs in these spots actually a lot is we barrel a ton of our ace king specifically because we dominate draws. So if we barrel ace king here, say he has king jack, he peels turn, and then we check river and we actually have some showdown value versus worse draws, assuming they
Yeah,
don't bluff river.
that's if he doesn't bluff. But
They
see,
should mainly bluff river. but
I'm bluffing the river in his shoes like almost every time. I don't care. I just go for it all the time. It works a lot.
This river?
But yeah, let's see how the hand played out.
Let's see.
we're spiking a king, right? Please tell me we're spiking a king. Oof.
Oh.
Raise it.
There you go. I'm just folding every
Yeah, I
single
think
time.
this is a fold.
Yep. Please don't go all in.
Especially when he goes
Okay.
that big.
If I
Don't
had
go all
ace
in there. I
king,
wasn't that crazy.
if I had
Yeah.
specifically ace king with the king of hearts, I'd love to see a shove.
Yeah, I mean, I think you definitely could do that.
I don't like ace jack, but I like ace king with the king of hearts because we unblock nut flush draws that are going to call us off and we're ahead of if we have the
Yeah.
king of hearts instead of the ace of hearts. And
You
we
could
just
have, like-
have a ton of equity.
I
Yeah.
think when they raise that big, I want to continue mostly through a raise.
Yeah, totally
Like
agree.
just
Oh,
shove
yeah.
folds,
All
basically.
in or fold. Yeah, definitely.
And I think ace king with the king of hearts is a perfect hand for that.
He could have like a pair plus a gut shot or something.
You could. Wait, no, a pair plus a gut shot? No, he can't.
Oh, he can't.
There are
I
no
don't know.
pair plus gut shots on that board.
I'm gonna bet this river. I think that makes sense.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
play it
oh,
again.
seven.
Hang on, do that again.
We open button, small blind flats, we see bet flop for half pot. He calls, we check turn.
Yeah. Yeah. And then what? You bet the river.
I'm giving up this river exploitatively.
I think, yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, you're never winning if you check, but
The reason I like
the
giving it up
problem is
because I think when he calls preflop, he's gonna have two distinct categories of hands. He's gonna have a bunch of pocket pairs, which I think fold to the flop bet, and then mainly a bunch of ace x, maybe some king x, and I don't think you get any board pairs to fold river. So I
mean,
just
I
don't
respect-
see what
I
folding
res-
range he has.
I respect the bluff, but
I don't think it makes sense to me.
You probably block a decent chunk of their folding range too.
I don't see what folding range he has, honestly.
yeah.
I don't think he has any.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I like the give up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it kind of made sense. I mean, I don't know.
It makes
It's not like-
sense under the assumption that he's peeling pocket pairs on the flop.
Or flush draws.
Flush draws to some extent, but he's not going to have that many that don't have a board pair or are actually beaten by us. Wait, what happened with deuces? We raise, he 3-bets, button overcalls, and we call? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So deuces are definitely not an open at this position, but I think
You
at
could
these stakes you can open any pocket pair.
you could mix all of your pocket pairs or all of your
think
weak
you
pocket
can-
pairs in theory.
I think you can pure open all your pocket pairs at these stakes because they're gonna make you a lot of money.
Maybe. And then yeah, definitely overcalling versus the 3-bet
Yeah.
and the cold call. It's a hand that plays great multi-way. Fold.
Snap fold.
No, it's
Yeah.
the line is it's just oh my god, I can't talk. The line is it's a snap call kid, right? Not a snap fold. Is that the Helmuthian line?
I don't know.
Or some line Helmuth said at some point. Like it's what they call a snap call. That's what a snap call looks like. I don't remember. There was something about snap calling.
Just folding the queen jack.
Yeah, it's like very close to the bottom of your range. Gotta be hard to find a worse hand in your range there.
So the king queen, I like a c bet. I like a third.
I don't like half pot. I think we could see bet a third. I definitely think we could check. This is a very reasonable hand to check.
You could definitely check too.
I think I would mainly play a check there.
Actually, yeah, I would definitely check that now that I think of it.
If it was
Yeah.
like ace 6, I think I'd just range bet, but on ace 6, I don't think I would,
Yeah.
and that's a hand that
Yeah.
really wants
Well,
to
the
check.
king queen.
Oh,
the king
okay,
queen
Jack
is-
10 off is not an open under the gun.
Yeah, that's not good.
Although the big
We had
blind was
discussed.
the same guy that limp raised us earlier, so possibly a weaker player, debatably.
We jumping. So no Nogioski, are we jumping all over the place? Or are we even helping you at all? I feel like we're just like rambling on.
Oh no, it's helping. Yeah.
Yeah, we should try to stay a little more focused on what he's doing.
I will do my best not to ramble anymore.
I do it a lot. I'm sorry.
I do it
Is this a
too.
3-bet? Yeah, it is, right? King Jack suited.
Yeah, definitely a 3-bet.
That's definitely
This flop is, I think, a check.
yeah. I like a check.
Okay, now I know what you're gonna say, Tombos. You're gonna say, depending on if this guy's playing a donking range, we could either see bet really low frequency if he has a very hot, big donking range. Because on this board, he's probably supposed to dunk at least half his range. I would guess half his range, maybe
Yeah.
slightly
Yeah, 'cause
more.
he's gonna have
Super
so
good for
many
him.
sets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And he's
think
probably never donking.
then
know-
we range check if he's never donking this spot for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I didn't even think that he has a donking range here because it's the 3-bet pot, but I think you're absolutely right, Dan.
He so has a donking range here. Are you kidding me? I mean, I'm kind of
No,
biased because this week
I
I've
didn't-
literally
It's a
been
fold,
studying
right?
3-bet pots in position.
Yeah. So you're
But
just folding
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't think about it, but you're absolutely right. That's a pure check because he's not going to be donking enough.
damn it,
Well,
you
this
said
is-
and I thought that was going to be exactly what you were going to say, and I could take the words right out of your mouth, but I guess I couldn't.
I mean, this is 10 and L. I don't think people have a donking range here unless it's like the nuts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in
I
that
agree with
case,
you.
yeah, range. Or actually, if he does have a dunking range that is specifically the nuts, then we might be able to build out a c-betting range there.
Yeah, you'll need a strong read for that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about your 3-bet pot post flop play because nobody's going to be playing the way they should be. So I think you just keep doing what you're doing, honestly.
Okay, queen 10 off is way too loose now.
Rah.
Yeah.
Rah.
I do like opening
Oh,
queen jack
Jack!
off though. I think queen
The
jack
V-
performs well in this rake structure. Yeah.
The VPIP is getting wider as he continues to play and get
This
higher.
is what I'm getting more high.
You played queen 10 off and not do 7 suited. This is
Yeah.
it's
If
unacceptable.
if you start getting bored, then just turn it off and do something else, man, because this is what's going to be holding you back.
Or start playing your own personal 7 deuce game. It's an
This
alternative.
is an interesting flop.
I like bombing this flop with this hand.
I do not want to bomb this flop.
No. I don't like a bomb.
In late
strong-
position
Way
versus
too
big
strong
blind.
to bomb this hand.
Yeah. In late
Okay,
position
now I
versus
like a
big
bomb.
blind, we can have some bombs on not
Let's
on like
bomb
10
it.
high but not connected. Like it can't be
I
like
don't
10
think you
6.
can. I don't
No,
think you can go too big on this one.
No,
Maybe
it's,
I'm
it's
wrong.
4 to a straight and he's got a bunch of 7x. You can't.
I think we can go a third on the turn
I,
though.
I
Maybe
think
half
when he
pot.
calls, when he doesn't raise, I think you win this every single time.
I should call it.
Oof.
Right?
Okay, wait. Let's pause for a second. Hang on. Pause this.
What is happening here?
Yeah.
So what was
I
this
think
line?
you-
We see bet half pot seems reasonable. We barrel turn for half pot. I might have gone a third, but half pot seems fine too. And he
I think
dunks
you-
river.
I think you're winning this every time.
Yeah, I got a call, right?
Hang on.
Just,
Did I
you just
raise?
call.
Do
Don't
you?
raise.
Oh,
Okay, that is
Bro,
spicy.
why
That
is
is
it-
spicy.
I think he's gonna. Oh yeah, holy shit!
Can we go back a bit? Hang on.
Okay,
I
How
just
does
want
he
to see
not
the
raise
board
you on
again.
the turn? That's crazy. How does he not raise you on the turn? I
I'm
don't
folding
understand.
this river.
I would call. I wouldn't raise.
I would
but-
fold that.
I mean, I kind of respect the raise because it's like, what? Why doesn't he? How do you not raise the turn with a straight?
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
that was kind of
understand.
my line of.
He's
That
not going to
doesn't-
raise that ton of 7x on the turn, and I don't know.
Is he ever calling with worse when you raise?
No.
Okay. And you probably have better bluffs to choose from. Like that hand could just call, I think.
Okay.
I
I
think.
kind of respect the raise though.
I think ace
I'm
queen
like-
off isn't a 4-bet, but why are we calling? What bluffs are we expecting big blind to have here? I see
on,
none.
You had a label
Well,
too.
What was the 4-bet?
Wait, what?
No, we 4-bet ace queen off in positions where I don't think it's a 4-bet. But anyway,
It's a no, not
Hang on.
versus those positions.
Yeah.
I think it's cut off.
can we
button
pause
is a
for
4-bet.
the nines hand again for a second? He can potentially have some like king jack but that's probably gonna fold flop to half pot.
What does your
Like-
tag mean?
This guy was I can't remember what this guy was, but
No, but what does your tag mean? You have him
oh,
tagged.
green is fish.
Fish. Okay.
Yeah.
Even if he's a fish,
So you-
what bluffs does he have here? Maybe spades, call, bet river. Can you pause here?
Yeah,
He could have missed spades. He could have a jack that missed the straight. He could have top pair.
Well, what jack X does he
Um,
have here? His only jack X is gonna have a pair, and I don't see a fish turning a pair into a bluff here.
Yeah, probably not.
Potentially miss spades, maybe. I just don't think that
Okay.
line's gonna be bluffed enough.
I can get behind a hero fold. I can, but I don't.
I'm never folding.
I
Honestly.
mean, I just like a call. It's funny. We all like different sizes here, or different actions here.
I want to fold.
Everyone
I
like
just
he
want to fold.
expects the raise.
I don't know. I kind of respect the raise. I just don't. It's really so risky. I would never raise it, but I kind of like respect what was
don't
going
get-
through your head.
Okay, I mean,
I don't respect the raise.
yeah. 'Cause the problem with the raise is you literally only fold
Get
out.
called by worse.
Well, you
I
fold
mean,
out.
you only get called by better. My bad.
You fold out worse and get called by better.
Yeah,
And
that's the thing.
there's nothing in between. So I don't
Yeah.
really understand why
You see,
bluff raise.
that's where we're differing, Tombos. You're saying you're folding out everything worse and getting called by everything better. I'm saying he has nothing worse, so why are we even calling in the first place?
I think he'll have worse.
I
He's a
don't
fish.
think
I
he
think
does.
he has worse.
I don't think he
definitely has
does.
worse.
I think he's gonna have some.
He's gonna have missed
some shit
draws.
there.
He'll
Yeah.
have the occasional busted flush draw, but I don't think that's going to be enough to make up for the amount of 7x he has there.
He's a fish. He's gonna call too wide on.
Yeah, he
on
has
the
all
other
sorts of
straights.
stuff.
No,
He
he's
could
not.
have 10. He could have
yeah.
queen 10.
He could have jack
And
fives.
he could be value betting his 10.
He's not going to
Offsuit.
value at a 10. Maybe this is just me over giving people too much credit. Maybe. But
Yeah, I think a little bit, but
I don't think that's...
Although
A
I mean, some
printing
people
call.
argue that the call donk is the strongest possible line in poker. So
Really?
some people argue that, man. I don't know.
It is pretty strong actually at these stakes.
it is. But I
Yeah.
don't think the fish is.
Because
You
it's
can
so
even-
close to the call donk line, which I think is very heavily overbluffed. That's interesting. Weird spot.
Yeah, because it's like basically the fish logic is they trap too much, and so they'll call and they don't want to miss value on the river, and so they just lead out.
Oh, I see.
That's
See,
the
like
fish. That's the
I
fish
feel,
logic.
I feel a little.
Why are we
different. I
playing
don't-
Jack 10 off in the small blind? No, stop it.
I was
Fold.
baked. I got confused. I thought I was playing short deck. I don't know what Jack 10.
I don't think fish trap too often.
Oh no,
Yeah.
they do. I agree with
They
Tom
do.
on that
I
one.
think.
They
I think,
do.
Totally
I think-
depends on the fish. Some of them trap
Yeah.
way too often and just never like. There's tons of passive fish that are just way under raising everywhere.
I think overall they fast play their good hands, like in general, like more often than they trap.
Well,
Hmm.
the problem is we just say fish, which is too wide
That
a
is true.
category. There are
That
different
is
kinds
true,
of fish.
that is
There are
true.
passive fish. There are maniac
There's
fish.
salmon, tuna.
You're making me hungry over here.
It's a fold, right? This is a call probably.
What, the king jack? I think you can call definitely
Yeah.
Yeah.
to that small size. Yeah.
Some consideration for raising,
No,
but
there
I
is.
think we'd rather have the king of spades here, like king of spades, jack of diamonds to raise.
Yeah, just folding the turn.
Yeah.
I mean, to a big bet on the flop, I think you can fold, but not to like
Mhm.
half pot.
I
or
don't think you
quarter.
can ever fold flop. Maybe if it's an overbet. Potentially. Maybe still calling versus overbet even.
I think really where's overbet?
On the
Wow.
flop, we have a
Yeah.
backdoor good flush draw, a gut shot, and we're ahead of a ton of bluffs. I can't think of many scenarios where
Why
I'm
are we
folding
here
it.
with? Oh, I think I misclicked.
Yeah, you open limped this.
Yeah, I misclicked. Thank God I didn't bet.
I could have
Although-
gotten behind a bet. We have a gut
Actually, yeah,
shot.
there's a gut shot here actually. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's fold.
Raise.
I could have gone behind the raise too. Yeah, I don't like a call, but I could have raised or folded.
All right, that was the sesh.
discipline equals freedom
It
as he opens
does.
3-2 suited on turn.
You gotta be disciplined.
That's right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
I
the
think
most
open the
discipline
hard
you
hand.
showed this session was from that desktop background.
so. I think that overall that you played well. I think you did a good job, and I think you just need to study your pre-flop ranges
Yeah.
and a little more. They're pretty good. Don't get me wrong. Just
I think
go
it's
over them again, and then I think keep doing what you're doing. I think you're gonna do very well at these stakes.
I think it's less about the pre-flop ranges and just more about more discipline, right? Like
Yeah,
getting high before your session and
yeah,
then playing like any two from under the gun is not the way to make money.
yeah.
So
You're
Not
gonna
know
be
any
that,
stuck
you
in
two.
NL forever, man.
You're clearly a reasonable player. You can clearly beat these stakes. I think if you just play sober, keep your mind sharp, and
Yeah, for sure.
you'll be
I think
Yeah.
really good.
I'm also a bit aggressive post flop. I think that's
Yeah,
one, one
a
of my
lot of
leads.
big sizes, a ton of big sizes post flop.
Mhm.
You can definitely check a bit more size down.
Okay.
Just don't get out of line because a lot of newer players that play smaller stakes, they like get the fancy play syndrome and they're making huge bluffs and they're like bombing turns and bombing rivers with like complete air. Just don't be doing that stuff. Yeah, I didn't see you do any of that. So
I like
I
the
Yeah.
think
I like the way you say it, like it goes away when you move up in stakes. I still do that all the time.
do you?
Never
I
stopped.
try not to. I play
Why
pretty
would you
straight.
call out Dan like that? Come on.
Never stopped.
Well, I think that overall you did pretty good, man. I think you can definitely make
Thank
it
you.
to 50 NL, like no problem. All you have to do is just, you know, just the discipline. Stop getting bored. Stop playing when you're bored, and stop like, just stay focused. It's obvious that you've put a lot of work into your pre-flop game, and it like you can just tell that you've been putting in the work. And I'm surprised you're only at 10 NL with some of the stuff I've been seeing you do.
I also disagree with Tom for the record. You don't open under the gun too wide. It's called a polarized opening range. It's the way it works.
Yeah.
Is that how it works, Dan?
It's exactly how it works.
Okay, so I'll keep studying and work on being a little less aggressive post flop. I think that is one of my leads.
I don't think you were too aggressive post flop. Maybe
No,
just
I think you
using some
did
smaller
fine, man.
sizes, but
Oh,
I don't
really?
think you were getting very out of line at all.
No, you
Yeah.
weren't out of line. Just yeah, I don't know. A lot of
I
it's the
think
soft skills.
Yeah.
I think you're doing fine. Like I think like even if you didn't change your strategy whatsoever, I think you would make it to 25 NL like no problem. Just don't play when you're bored and just focus. It's just like it's as simple as that. I think you're gonna do just fine. I mean, as you move up, you're gonna have to really put in more work, but
Yeah.
I think as of right now, I think you're like one of the good players in the pool.
Oh,
sure.
that's good to know.
I mean, I would have
Yeah.
lost so much more money playing that session with those cards. That ace 10, I was so ripping that into a set. I was doing so many things that would have costed me money that session. Yeah.
Just discipline and just play when you're focused and don't have any distractions. Just like make sure you're like your head. If you feel like you're getting bored or you're not paying attention, just shut the games down for 5-10 minutes and come back. Just make sure you're focused.
Sounds good.
Dan's analysis was a lot more exploitative this session. I noticed that.
Yeah,
Really?
it was actually.
Good job, Dan.
Working on it.
He's slowly becoming a little more exploitative. I like it.
I've been
I
doing
like it.
some node locking this week. I'm getting into it.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm
Nice,
trying.
Nice. That's the
But
way.
yeah, Nogioski, I think that I think as of like right now, I don't know how important it is to you to move up to 25 NL, but I don't think you would have to focus on any more studying right now. I think you just need to put in hours grinding, and I think you'll get there like no problem. That's what I think.
Okay.
Because it does. I didn't see anything like super out of line or like it's good to play, you know, a little more on the passive side, I think, and that's what you were
Okay.
doing. I think you're doing just fine. I think you just focus on studying when you hit the next stake level. You know what I mean? I wouldn't just put in some more hours playing, and then I think you'll move up no problem.
Okay, okay. So I'll just I'm gonna play some more.
Yeah, just you know, maximize your playing. Just make sure you're focused. I think you'll. Yeah. Yep.
Do you have any finishing thoughts on this, Nogioski?
Um,
Any questions?
I'm just thinking right now. I'm just going over the session. No, but not now. I guess my one question is like, did anyone see any like leaks?
I don't think you have any leaks at these stakes. Like, I don't think it's anything you have to worry about right now. As you move up, I think
Okay.
your leaks are going to become more obvious to you, if that makes any sense. Because when there's more money involved, you're losing plays are gonna hurt you more, like emotionally. So it's
Right.
gonna become more apparent to you. So I think you just need to focus on
Just playing
hitting
more,
just
getting more hands.
make it to the next stake, and then everything is just gonna start to like all fall together nicely.
Okay.
Just another
Just get
question, actually. Out of all of the hands that session, were there any you thought were interesting that we didn't really look at?
That's a good question. Let me just glance over the video. No, I think we went over the all the hands that I wanted to.
Okay.
There was definitely some analysis that surprised me, like raising the set there.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of stuff that we were talking about that just like went in one ear and out the other, but it's nothing you have to worry about right now.
So I'm gonna be careful on board to a straight boards and not raise my sets, I guess, and just be a little more careful.
Well, it depends on the line, but yeah. It's just a spot, because if you think about it, right, when he donks that
Mm,
river,
yeah. Okay.
what is he really representing, right? He's saying he has pretty much just a 7.
Oh, so think of it like this. So at 10 and L, when somebody raises your river bet, it's the nuts every time.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
And
Yeah,
so I don't know. I think just play a little more on the passive side.
just a
I
little
think
more passive. Okay.
well, like not like more than you are right now. I'm just saying like in general, just keep doing what you're doing. I like you were a little. It seemed like you were a little on the passive side. I kind of like that.
Okay.
It's okay to be passive. It's not like you're gonna get wrecked, you know,
Yeah.
by being passive.
And just
Like
to
that.
clarify, raising like the set of nines again on the
Yeah.
4 straight board, that was as a bluff, right? That's what Dan wanted to raise, I think, because he didn't think he had any bluffs there. But
What, I wanted to raise? No, I wanted to fold.
Yeah.
oh,
You wanted to
sorry,
fold.
you wanted to fold.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got you guys mixed up. Yeah, no, Dan wanted to raise it as a bluff, but
No,
if he's
no,
never,
no. Nogio raised it. I wanted to
yeah,
fold.
You raised
oh,
it for value.
Yeah. I thought I was going for value there.
JR
Yeah.
raised it. Sorry guys.
No,
I'm
nobody
off.
said raise.
No,
Only
like
me.
would
Tompos, you're
never
mixing this
raise.
up, okay? So,
I
Nogio
yeah.
played it as a raise in game. Both you
Yeah.
and JR wanted to call, I wanted to fold.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly. Yeah.
right.
That was
Yeah,
what
yeah,
happened. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
I was
because
just saying, like, I kind of like understood like the raise, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because
He
I
wasn't.
didn't think he had a straight. I really didn't.
No, me neither. I did not expect him to have a straight there.
Yeah, like that's why I'm saying I kind of like I didn't hate the raise. I just wouldn't have done it. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it doesn't make it still doesn't make a ton of sense to me to raise it, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like the raise,
Yeah.
but
you have to
like
you have to think about
I
what worse hands are going to call you,
Uh-huh.
and
right.
no worse hands are going to call that raise, so it doesn't
Right.
extract any value.
the thing is as you learn more about poker and you move up and you know you're playing against better and better opponents.
Yeah.
Like a skill that you develop that is very valuable is like thinking ahead. So
Right.
it's like, you know, if I call this turn bet, what am I going to do on the river? And then you have to think about like, you know, future streets, or like if I raise this hand and
Right.
then he goes all in, I'm just going to fold and like stuff like that. The problem is that when like you're a newer player, you just kind of make plays and then it's like something happens and then it's like, wow, I didn't see this coming, and that's where big mistakes start to happen. But like that'll come with time, and don't stress out about it.
It's kind of how a lot of strategy games work, both poker and chess actually, right? Your optimal line is pretty much just an aggregation of the EV of all of your possible lines, or looking over the EV of all of your possible lines versus every possible action and seeing what works.
Yeah, so like Nogioski, so something that you can do to start training your brain into doing that is like you only play two tables, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like it takes a while for your brain to like start doing this, but like so when somebody makes a bet,
Yeah. Okay.
or like you are thinking about betting,
Yeah.
you know, just think before you make a call or whatever, you have a time bank. Just think like, all right, so when this happens and then the turn is this card, what am I gonna do? Like, am I gonna call another bet, or like I think he's bluffing the turn, I'm gonna call. Well, is that good? Am I gonna call a river bet? You know, just try to think like ahead, like try to think in the future, and like eventually it'll like start to come naturally.
Okay. Like so, basically, think about the future streets.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if it's this card, I'm gonna do this, or like I'm gonna fold my flush draw now because, you know, if I miss, I'm I'm not gonna bluff. You know what I mean? Just think about
Yeah.
like future streets. Try. It's a really good skill to develop.
Right. Right. Start planning out the hand, I guess.
Yeah, try to think it out before you like
There
push
is
the
a
button.
line
You
at
know.
the end of Modern Poker Theory where he writes something along the lines of all you're really trying to do is play the turn in an optimal way to end up in the best possible river scenarios, and play the
Yeah,
flop in
I
an
like that.
optimal way to end up in the best possible turn scenarios, and pre-flop for the flop, and that's how you're trying to figure your strategy out.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You wanna get to the river like as comfortably as possible, because you don't want to get to the river and then it's like, what the hell do I do? Like, how did I
Right.
get here? I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, that's the last thing you want,
Mm-hmm.
because it's easy to play the flop.
Yeah, everything's a mix.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well,
Okay, I
not
will
everything, but
definitely
So yeah, don't change a
start doing
thing.
that.
Keep doing what you're doing.
stop open
Try.
limping 4-7 off under the gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Look over your pre-flop cards, and and then just start thinking about future streets as you're playing. And
Okay.
I think you're gonna move up quickly.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing, man.
Yeah,
Oh no, no worries. It was really insightful, actually.
Yeah.
It's
If
really
you
nice
want,
to have outside perspective.
yeah, if you want, add me on Discord and you can message me anytime.
Okay, sounds good. I'll add you, JR.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you guys next week.
All
Yep,
right, sounds good.
I'm gonna head off too. See
yeah.
you
Maybe
guys.
I'll record a 200 zone session or something. Maybe we can review that sometime.
Yeah, you gotta ask
Yeah, that'll be
Waffle.
awesome.
Waffle's the guy that organizes all of this stuff, so.
Yeah,
Sounds
whenever.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
All right, later, guys.
Alright, see
Yeah, no
ya.
problem.
Thanks for the help.
Yep.
See ya.
See you
Peace.
guys.